Hey guys, Coach Alexa here. So I'm going to teach you how to make a Thanksgiving dessert a healthy way. Surprisingly enough, acorn squash tastes a lot like sweet potatoes, and you can kind of make a sweet potato pie with it without the crust. So what you're going to need to do is what I already did. I preheated the oven to 375 degrees, and then I did 1 to 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Since I have a big pile, I did 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. If you're doing a smaller portion, then probably 1. I got 2 acorn squashes. This is what acorn squash look like. You can get them at any grocery store. I pre-baked them at 400 degrees for about 45 minutes. Then I cut them in half. I cut out all the seeds and I saved them because they have high iron. I'm going to bake them later. But now I just have the guts of it, essentially. So then, like I said, I have the 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. I stuck it in the preheated oven, so now it's just liquefied so it doesn't stick. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of the guts of the squash and put it into the pie pan. I know it sounds kind of weird, squishy. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it all stick together and add some crunch in with some coconut nectar oil, some almond milk, granola, and then cocoa powder to add a little bit of a chocolate tint to it. So if there's a little bit of seeds left in it, it's okay. It'll add some crunch to it. And like I said, it's high in iron, so that's good for you. And you can also use it as sides as well, the seeds. So now what I'm going to do is, if you have a steady hand, go ahead and just make a swirl across the pan. If you do not have a steady hand, I would suggest measuring out 2 tablespoons of this, but I'm just going to drip it across and then be done with it right there. I'm going to take 2 big spoonfuls of 100% natural cocoa powder. I'm just going to dribble it across like this. Make sure I'm covering all my bases there. And then I'm also going to throw in 1 cup of granola. I use the natural kind, but try to go low in sugar, whatever your favorite kind is. So I'm just going to mash all of this in there together and swish it all around. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of coconut almond milk, just to liquefy it a little bit so that the chocolate melts into the squash. So your goal is to, since there's no crust, to make it crunchy, is to make sure that that coconut oil at the bottom is there, so it'll brown it a little bit and make it stick together. And then every once in a while, when you're baking, just to make sure that you're mixing all the ingredients in there so that it's melting across. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in at 375 for about 20 minutes, and then I'm going